What's up? Live Sunday. Why did I agree to do this? Nobody was forcing me to do this. I made myself do this. Why am I like this? Oh well. I'm here. 10 days in a row now. Only another 21 to go. Could be more. Could be more. Blame Canada. Sure. Yeah, it's Canada's fault. Also Max. Max's fault as well. Canada and Max. They're the ones at fault here. Anyway, I was considering doing FTL today, and I think it still says that in the schedule in Discord, but not quite. Today will not be an FTL day. Instead, we're going to spend some time today working on a new track because I feel like it. It's as simple as that. I feel like it. Add this to the Twitch schedule so that the bot works as it should later on. Okay. Yeah, just to mention the usual thing. This is still a thing, although you'll notice it's been updated. We didn't hit $500. So, face cam's gone. No more chance of a face cam. There's always a chance that it could come back in the future, but not anytime soon. Best you'll get is a face rig as usual. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, it's unfortunate for me that we didn't get to $500, but beyond that, we are only 40, yes, 40, not 400. Only $40 off of the next incentive, though, which is a Pokemon Crystal full item rando and a Crystal rando catch-em-all. Those are different because the catch-em-all is literally just Crystal, but the Pokemon locations are randomized. And all 251 are available. The full item rando, on the other hand, it's Crystal. It's okay. It's basically the same as the catch 'em all, except instead of having to catch them all, I just have to beat the game. The problem is all of the items, including the key items, like the badges, for instance, are randomized. Yeah, I could talk to. What's the first key item you get, realistically? I guess it would be the egg, right? The mystery egg from. What's his face? That could be a badge. That could be a bicycle. That could be the pass to get on the I'm blanking on stuff, but the train to Kanto. It could be any number of things. Won't know until you grab the item and look. I also do need to figure out stuff, obviously, for the 750 tier as well as the subs, but I am bad at this and haven't been putting much thought into it. So, never mind that. I think people would rather support me directly than support Twitch, so the subs are not the biggest priority to me, though it would, of course, be nice to hit 25 subs. We're currently at 10, for reference. You can always find out the sub count by running ! Sub count. Yeah. And the goal, well, I guess the goal also, but the current tracker value for the month by running ! Goal. Goals will also get you that info, but it also includes the goals with it. Overlapping commands, you know. But yeah. I guess I should launch GTA so that we can get going. Volume levels are good. I just need to do this, I guess. Here, controller cam's already set up and working. Just gotta wait for the game to load. There we go. And of course, if you missed it last night, did play GTA, of course. It ended up being Hunt the Streamer instead of racing, and oh boy, what a time that was. You talk to any of the hunters, they'll just tell you that the round was almost entirely boring until the very end. But, you know, as a hunter the previous round, EJ's funnel round, I have to say that it was pretty boring the entire round up until the end, and even that was kinda eh. So I don't know. I feel like that's not a valid argument of anything because it's just the same as usual, right? But anyway. Yeah, that final round. It might have been boring for the hunters, but for the hunted, oh boy. What a time that was. I don't know how much I want to talk about it right this second. I'm sure the people who want to see it have seen it. Or will watch that first. One of those two. I don't really need the controller cam up. But I have it up. I don't need it up because I'm just going to be working in the creator. I mostly use the controller in the creator anyway. Not load. Create. Be really tempting to make a transform race if we weren't restricted to 16 players, Cockstar. Next gen has it. Why don't we? My PC is more powerful than a previous gen console. Why don't... I mean, obviously my computer is not representative of everybody's computers, but, still. What gives? Nice, Dingle. Also, hi, RJ. I see you're not done guessing, even though that wasn't my thing. I'm not entirely sure where I want to build this track. That's the crane. Other than, I want to make it around one of the mountains. Chiliad is overdone, so I think I want to avoid Chiliad. This is going to be a fully custom track, too. So I'm going to have to be very careful with my prop management, since, yet again... Oh, I can't even check because I haven't placed a thing. Yet again, Cockstar. 300 props when? You know, this mountain right here could work. Gonna get an idea of where I'd want to put the start-finish line, though. Maybe on this side, somewhere pushed out from the mountain a little bit. So I can't place any props until I place the trigger, which is fine. I can just place the trigger up here somewhere for the moment. Come on, I saw you flash there. You really not gonna give this to me? At all? That should be sufficient. Come on, game. Nice, Dingle. Yeah, I went to sleep not too long after I ended the stream, as I said I would, because I wanted to sleep. Alright, how about this then? Too far from the camera. Okay. Now, there is a way around this. This should work. I'm gonna push it out this way. And if I just... No? I forget exactly how you're supposed to do this. Ground must be level, it says. Trying to remember, I can just look it up. Okay, let me look it up. And of course, this might have been fixed at some point, so it might not work anymore anyway. Probably in here, right? Hmm. Yeah. Doesn't want to work. I wonder if they fix that. There we go. So now I can go and delete this prop. And you can see on the mini-map, you don't see the... oh, there it is. Trigger is right there. Flat ground is not necessary. Okay. You have to have the trigger close enough to the start-finish line that the game is happy with it. Start-finish line needs to be close to the trigger. So since I can't easily place it up there, and I want to have the checkpoint, or the main checkpoint somewhere over here. You know, like something like this, or something, I don't know. Just, like, put it around here somewhere. Just enough space at the back there to come in from the other side if I wanted to. And then from the front, that leaves a fair bit of room. I can cut it in closer to the hillside as well. Which I like. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Actually, what I could do... just rotate it like that, because if I remember correctly, yeah, I've got a little bit of room on this side to work with, which means I could straighten it out like that, and get a little bit more room on this side for going off the front. Sure. Hopefully I'll be fine with a basic start-finish line as opposed to, you know, one of these. Don't think I'm gonna fit a pit one in. the real question is, will it allow me to do this? In theory, it should, but the problem you get is that it might not because of the elevation. Because there's still ground relatively close. Make that a large grid. Need to pull it forward a bit. Perfect. Still not absolutely perfect, but more than good enough. Okay, now that I'm done sneezing. Can you... Yeah, you can make it circular, but you can't change the scale of it. Also, make sure that you're regular. Remember when you could glitch the start-finish line to be circular, but it wasn't actually a feature of the game yet? I remember, because I did it for point to point. And yeah, that's plenty happy. In fact, I think I can demonstrate that. If I take this, you can see, yeah, the green circle. This is within the green circle. Versus over here somewhere would not be. Not that I can fit it in anywhere other than like this bridge. Yeah. Position is 2. Must be placed closer to the trigger, like I said. How do I want to go from here? That's a question. Not really what I want to do. Forgot how big the map is in this view. I'm trying to clear up my screen a little bit. I could do a couple of things here. I could dive down, because I'm high up in altitude. Could, of course, wrap around this edge a little bit. Yeah, actually, why not do that? Bring it around here, kind of. Maybe have a bit of elevation in it, and then come down over here, like down this valley or something. Have a steep dive down there. Of course, have to get back up, but that's just what the rest of the track will be, you know, winding back up along the mountainside. Something like that. I don't know if this track will be any good, but it'll be something. If I turn on snapping, are you... No. Good. I don't like proximity snapping particularly. I don't think I want to go with a sharp bend right off the bat. Obviously, I've got a variety of corners I could use. Definitely not that. Or that. Or that. Yep, that's how I wanted to rotate it. Go. Let's see. And I could do this. Snapping game. Now we're good. That actually snapped cleanly. There's no seam line or anything that I can see. Okay, there's a tiny bit of a seam line. I can see it on the paint. There, the problem is, get it slightly better aligned, and then switch to world. World is not going to help me. Probably should have just left it where it was, but it's fine. As long as you can't see the line while you're racing, then that's alright. Now let's see, do I continue curving it in more, or do I... Let's try that. Wait, lock rotation just to be safe, then lock rotation, then lock position, then reset rotation so that you can actually rotate the damn thing. This rendering is a lot different than I remember it being, but I also don't know that I've made many custom sections like this since I upgraded my... So that's probably part of the... line, because I think that's that. An easy... No, it's up there. Well, that just really goes to show I don't know where the seam line is. An easy way to figure it out is by changing the color of the props. Or, you know, you can just do that. I don't even know if you still have to reset the rotation to get it to rotate. Maybe they fixed that with Drug Wars. Don't know. Kind of a habit, though, because it was the only way to get things working for a while. Can you please snap when I tell you to? Definitely don't want to go with anything less than the 15. Or even the 30, honestly. I think the 15 is too shallow. I mean, I see the line, but it's not obvious or anything. Acceptable. Are we building a new track? Because I feel like it. You know what? Do that. Then I want to see with a 90 tight. Yeah, that still works. That still works. Oh, track bend medium. By the way, if you're expecting music or you want to hear music or anything like that, I'm not going to play music. You add your own soundtrack to the stream. I avoid DMCA bullshit, and you get to listen to what you want to listen to. Works better for all of us that way. I don't think. Now, I could obviously do something like this. Out of curiosity, the 135 is not wanting to attach. Yeah, that... no. that's the wrong angle for this. I'd honestly prefer the 90 to be a little bit further to the right, but I think it's fine where it is. I align that more or less. No guardrails? Dingle, the stock guardrails are shit. I'm building out the track and I'll add stuff later on. Huh. Slightly different angle. So I think I'll go with this one, because it gives me a closer angle to what I'm looking for, I guess. Yeah, see? There's a seam line. That's horribly aligned. Not rotation, position. A little bit of a seam line from the other direction. Oh, it's just horribly aligned in general. Got it. So you're not getting it to look nice either way. Okay. Cool. Now, I kind of doubt this. When elevation. Now. Disabled my prop snapping. Yeah, see, this is why I don't just snap override immediately, because it screws up the rotation. But then I go to move the rotation and it does nothing. So I reset it, and then it works. So rotation, then position, then reset rotation, and then you can actually do as you wish with it. Yes, very good timing, Dingle. Very good. Let's see. Still kind of looks like shit, but that's fine. I can still test it. Want to get a bit of a feel for it. Yeah, I think 30 will just be good enough. Although I should probably test with a supercar. No. Supers is to the right. Does the Torero get its top speed from power, from upgrades or not? Not a clue. Perfect. Of course, the spoiler does nothing, so why would it? Yeah, you start losing traction just at the end there, but that's okay. I could try doing this, but I don't know that I'm gonna be able to. Because this takes a bit of skill that I don't really have in the creator. Yeah, see again, you lock position override first, it doesn't cooperate. Yeah, I think this is good where it is. Let's see. Put that back to blue just so that I can see the line better. Yeah, that looks fine. Although if I'm doing that, I should just use... Yeah. The alignment good? Yes. Not to bash on Pi too much, but this is what sets his tracks apart from my tracks and Kelly's tracks and other people's tracks as well. That extra little bit of attention to detail. Sorry, not sorry, Pi. It takes way longer, yes. But welcome to 2023. It ain't 2017 anymore. Bit hard to see, I know, but I'm trying to get this aligned to some extent. Also, I should probably do this to make it a little bit easier. As long as it's more or less there. Then what I can do on this... I went the wrong way, but that's fine, because this thing is stupid sensitive anyway. 2 degrees will probably be doable. I'm not going to be able to blend this perfectly together. You can see there's already a bit of misalignment there because of what I'm doing, but you might be able to see what I'm trying for here. Because I'm going to be curving it to the right, I probably want to align the right side or the left side of it so that that side is consistent. Can I... Not quite. Here, if I... Yeah, if I do this... Still not quite right. Unlock rotation. Pick you up, put you back. Snap you down. There we go. Now I can change the color to something different so it's easier to see. Get it more or less aligned. And then just go another increment. Trying to be as careful as possible with it, and it's still very touchy. Just give me 4 degrees, thank you. I might have to start picking up on the, I got the curb wrong there. That's fine. One little issue is not going to ruin it. So if I fix the rest of them. I might have to start picking up the degrees of, upwards rotation. Especially if I'm doing 2 degrees on the angle. But at least get a nice start to the transition. Let's see, what order do I do this in? Pick that up, put it down, lock rotation, lock position, change the color, reset rotation, even though I'm not entirely sure that's necessary because that might just be a an issue with whatchamacallit? Snapping. Alright, now this time I'm going to go to 26 degrees. I'm going to try 26 degrees. And the fact that that was at 360 instead of 0 does not matter. It's the same difference. Maybe we want to try more aggressive on this. At some point here, I'm going to have to start curving it, although, if I get it banked a bit more, just had an idea. It's going to be the suspension killer, but that's okay. Align the chunk out of the curb so at least one of the sides looks nice. I might be able to do something about that later, but maybe not. Might just cover it over. A lot of repetitive work, but that is what happens when you're going to this level to build something. Not to say that this is gonna be good, but I want to create a smooth transition. Gonna need a lot of props. Can I stop bounce? I'm giving the smallest input I can on the controller. Thank you. Probably should have been giving this a twist this entire time. But never mind that. And what if, instead of continuing along like I was, right, because that's already a bit of change there. It's not a ton. I can always add more. What if instead of that, I then do something like this? Maybe, 45 might do it. Not really the angle that I wanted it going around at. Yeah, hell, let's try this. Whoops. Yeah, placement of it is fine. Not great, but it's fine. A little tick down makes it that little bit better. Alright. There. Save it real quick before I forget. Yeah, shout out to the lurkers. Shout out indeed. Still not quite what I want. Explain the what bill? Talking about RJ. Yeah, that's not what I want. Grab you. Oh. I got a bill that was larger than I was expecting it to be, and because I don't have much money to begin with, it more or less emptied my bank account. What more is there to explain? It's down. Ant on my desk. No longer an ant on my desk. How they're getting in now. Let's see, it was steep. It was +1, +1, +2, +2. So 1, 2, 4, 6 degrees on that. And then the other way was 2, 4, 8, 12? Did I really do 2, 4, 8, 12 on it? Yeah, I guess. So I want to go to 16, I guess, on that rotation. Like that. But also... that. The problem is I start doing that. I don't really want to start getting it real fucky because I've got nice even numbers here. Note, I'm trying to keep the spacing here even. Yeah, I guess I'll bring that forward. Right about there. I don't even know if what I've done is really good, necessarily. Like, it'll work, but it's not the best. Not the smoothest, but it'll work. That's what I can then do. Okay. And then do this. Well, no. Leave it as it is. And now do basically the same thing, but different. Oh, okay. Don't... No, that's fine. You don't have to snap to this one. Oh. If you could, you know, snap properly, I guess what I could do is this. But it snaps how I want it to. Reset rotation, because that's going to matter in a minute. Then I can just move it up along like this. And now we just basically do the same thing that I did up there, but instead of rotating it, I'm going to... Well, instead of rotating it in the one direction, I'm not going to touch this direction. This is the one that I don't want to touch. Of course, now I can't get it back to where it was. I want to go 4 degrees? Not really. Go 2 degrees. 2 degrees should be manageable. And then just rinse and repeat a few times until it's more or less where it needs to be. Yeah, somewhere right about there. Except set down so that there's an actual transition here. About that much. Yeah. I know this is not necessarily the most exciting thing, but again, this generally isn't. Then why am I streaming it? Why don't I do it in my free time? I'm streaming 7 days a week now. What free time? Herein lies the issue. A lot of my extra free time is going into streaming at the moment. Not that anybody was asking that question, but I still answered it for you. What about there? I am very quickly running out of space, of course. But that's fine. Oh, how do I transition this back to being somewhat level at least? Let me go mess with something down here. Go out here where it's a bit more open. So if I was to do this, right? Doesn't have to be these necessarily. It could be like this turn or this turn. Probably this turn. Now I want to take it and I want to make it into... $10 degrees offset like that, let's say. What I would have to do is something along these lines, which is really override rotation there. Well, I guess really what I should do is rather than do that, and this isn't going to necessarily equate perfectly. I'm going to merge it in more or less and make it come up halfway or so. So you wouldn't actually want that there. Then the same idea here. Not that fucking finicky ass thing. Again, the inside gets ruined. I don't know if there's a better way to do that such that that doesn't happen, but something like that. Not good at doing that. Can I just teleport up to here? Almost level again. I wonder. I just prop snap that to there. Make it red so that it blends in less. Of course, you didn't snap perfectly, but whatever. Doesn't need to be perfect at this point. This is the one where it gets fun. Especially since it doesn't want to use the right rotation on it. Come on. So finicky. There we go. Damn thing. Yeah, you know what? Never mind on you. It's not actually what I wanted. This is what I want. So it's 14 degrees, 16 degrees. Of course, it's facing the wrong way, but that's okay. Not entirely okay, though. Now I can't get back to where it was. Let me just make a note of this real quick. There. Quick note made. Oh, hey, look, you didn't get timed out for once, Maha, or auto-modded, whatever. Oh. Yeah, I guess that would be... what, 3:30? I love not being able to hit the number I want. Would be relatively close, but not quite right. Really? Nice and early in the morning, eh, Maha? Meanwhile, it's middle of the afternoon here. I did the math right. Odd. That actually seems better on that front. However, the other angles are not right. Snap it and go. If I finagle with things that much, I'm gonna run out of patience real quick. Of course, the rotation is wrong on it. At least partially, but what else is new? That's why I was finagling with it in the first place, because it didn't want to do what I wanted it to. Okay, it just has to be close enough. Oh, and you can go away. There we go. Just give me a second, Moha. There's no way to get that aligned properly. In reality, it would be somewhere around here, and then somewhere around here. Try and blend it on at least one side. I'm gonna run out of time before this actually is able to go. This might not work out just because I can't figure out how best to prop it. This is what the track looks like. Not much. Hoping to bring the track up more from there. But I'm just not figuring this out. First mistake is probably using that. Yeah, good enough. Now, just because I'm using this sharp of a turn does not mean I have to maintain this sharp of a turn. Yeah, it's rotated immediately. No matter what I do. Change the color so I can see what's going on. Okay. Start with that. No, I did it wrong. Such a finicky process. Something like that. This is not very precise because it's not being very precise. I don't want that one. I want this one. Maybe not that much, though. Move you not vertically. Oh, this ain't working. This ain't working at all. No doubt better off just doing this, but this isn't what I want. Why would you link all the way back there? Actually, what if I use like a track up 30? Make sure it's aligned well. Can I come off of this at any point? Save the track again. Something like this, for instance. What if I did this? Realign that. At this point, I more or less just need to get this track leveled off so that I can actually start building it properly. That might be too steep of a transition angle. You know what? It's fine. I can level it out. A little bit of propping going into it. A little bit. So many damn props now between the start of the list and not. Not snapping properly. Love to see it. Not really. Rotation's actually backwards on this compared to what the rest of the pieces were, which doesn't help. Let's see, that is not enough angle on it. I want it to more or less be level. A little bit of a rotation on it. Smooth out the transition. Up one direction, then line up the other. And in case it's not obvious, this color scheme is not sticking around. This is purely just to make it easier to see while building. It'll be sorted out in due time. Not you. Get you somewhat aligned. That might be too much angle on it. I don't know. I'm not that good at making tracks in this game. So I'm trying to line it up on one side, not so much the other, but honestly, never going to get it perfect on both. That's acceptable. And if I do this, bring it up some more, but then also give it some tilt so that it kind of matches. I'm getting it more of a bank angle, but to be fair, if I can level this out in the one direction, I can level it out in the other much more easily. In theory. In theory. In reality, probably not so much. I think that's too steep. It's also way off compared to what it was before. Rotation angle is off now. Oh yeah, way off. Holy shit. Good alignment. Just a shit show of a downhill, isn't it? Oh well. Let's just level it out as much as possible. Sure. I gotta fiddle with this until it lands right where I want it to, finally. First and foremost, move it back. Then change the color so it's easier to see. Yeah, I need steeper rotation. I don't know why I did that. I'm committing to it now. There we go. Do I really want to keep doing it this way? I feel like I should just scrap this entire downhill. In fact, you know what? I'm going to. I'm not happy with how this is turning out, and it's only getting worse. Let's see. That seam looks fine. I don't really want to use the 45 up. I want to use the 30 up, if anything. I'm not entirely pleased with this. Something like this will be much easier to prop. There you go. 360, 0, it's the same difference. Contrast for better color, or different color for better contrast. I can English. I know what I'm trying to say. I really do. Doesn't mean I'm gonna be able to say it right. No, I really wanted to, you know? No, don't touch that direction. Could I just get 1 degree, please? Thank you. This one I can do just fine because it's only dealing with one angle. The curbs are always going to line up. The placement's going to be fine. This is a non-issue in terms of angling it. Getting the angle right in one direction is easy. Of course, I was getting 2 degrees before and immediately was wanting to snap to only 1. Yeah, I guess I can do that much. I don't even know if this track is going to come out how I want it to. I had an idea in my head, but it's not turning out how I'd like, and as we've already seen, I'm not able to really prop it in the way that I need to make it work how I want. At this point, it's just basically 2 turns and a hill. A very interesting track. Three degrees? 3? Thank you. What's up, Kiosk? I might be spacing that out too much for a 1 degree slope. I mean, I am, but it might work. I love hitting like every single degree around where I want, but not the one that I want. Let's see. Horrible. Good. Yeah, right about there. Yeah, the more I build this track out, the less confident I feel about it being any good. Right to the degree that I want for once. Right to the angle, I should realistically say. Oh, that's one of the... Okay. What if, off of here, just to change it up a little, did something silly, and did one of these. This can only go well, right? Do I have the space? I might. Yeah, the parts are very well made, aren't they, Kiosk? Most of it aligns, but this particular prop does not. And the best part is it's off on both sides. Then I try and align it, and it just moves in a way, which honestly, good enough. Good enough. Now, the real question is, can I get this out of this turn fast enough? Not sure about that. Hold X, which makes things awkward. Maybe... if I make a hill out of that, I can do it. I'll just have to be careful to not do any extra elevation or any extra angle in the one direction, only in the other. Eventually. There it is. Need to get it down at least so that that inner bit is flush. Go to right there. And I get at least 5 degrees of upward angle before this. Probably. Gonna be simple? Probably not. Okay. About there, and then finally bring that angle in to more or less there. And then give it 2 upward degrees of angle. Sure. Depending on how aggressive I make the angling, I might be able to get closer to 10. Oops. Probably should have aligned this more precisely before I did the angle. I can just not reset it. There you go. Get it more or less Z-aligned. I don't think I mentioned this, but as you move it like this, the fine movement, it actually shifts it out of position a little bit in different directions. So, like, just because I'm moving it in the Y does not mean it'll actually move straight in the Y-axis. It might divert on the X as well a little bit, which makes for precision placement like that really fucking obnoxious. Really fucking obnoxious. It's just one of those things you learn to get used to, though. Because what more can you realistically do? Probably kiosk. Probably. Something's not aligned with something, and it doesn't go well. Oh well. It's been an hour and a half. I don't have the reminders set up for GTA, so I'm going to take a short break now instead of 30 minutes ago. Yeah, there's really no way to prevent it other than to just not do precision movement too much. But yeah, I'm going to take a short break. We'll just flash this up on the screen, exclamation point goals if you want to look at it off of the stream. There's an image there, though that's the old one that has the extra crap about the webcam. Yeah, face cam's out of the picture. You guys didn't hit $500 before the end of last night's stream, so no face cam. No potential for it. But yeah, like I said, exclamation point goals if you want to see the older version of that a bit more. I still need to update those links. Just could only do so much between F1 and being this morning and all that. I was trying to focus on some other things as well. But yeah, I'm going to take a short break. Stand up, stretch, do that, all that good stuff. When I come back, we'll continue working on this track. Speaking of which, just go back and save. Because my computer decides to blue screen while I'm gone or something. And yeah, I am going to run some ads while I'm away. The only time during the stream that I run ads is when I'm not actually playing the game. Well, except for that one point in time last night, but that was to try and make it so people wouldn't see ads when they come into the stream. Stupid bikes. So they wouldn't see ads coming into the stream since I was going to be the cameraman for Dingle during his Hunt the Stream around. But yeah, anyway, some ads. Sable's pre-roll for the next hour. That's nice. Anyway, Kirby. Alrighty, I am back, and I should probably get my air conditioner set back up. By that I mean actually ready to run instead of unplugged and the filters all clogged and shit like that. 'Cause, it's hot in here. Could be worse, but it's hot in here. And that air conditioner would be nice. Not right this second, at least. And make do with how it is. Anyway, just want to mention again with this, I mentioned it before the break, but just to point out one last thing with it, we're sitting just under $310. The next goal's at $350. Only a little more than 50. Only a little more than 50, yes, excuse me. Only a little more than $40 needed to get that next goal. Not that far away. That's 4 people tipping $10. 8 people tipping 5, which is the equivalent of a sub, right? So, as it says on the bottom of the image, subscriptions themselves are counted as half because, 50-50 sub revenue split. So, it would be, 16 subscriptions? Which, funnily enough, would put us at 26 subs, just past that first sub goal that I don't have anything defined for. Funny how that works. I don't know. I'm sure that somebody needs to send their resubscription notification through regardless. Somebody that hasn't done it, but... Are we getting a face cam? No. No. The deadline for hitting the goal to add that as an incentive was last night. And, well, are we at $500? No, we're not. So, no face cam. There's a chance for it, but not enough people who are either willing to or able to contribute to get there. Unfortunate, but oh well. Get back to the game. My controller is still connected. Still in more or less the same spot. Why is that on roll? Also, next color. It's hard to tell, Kiosk, because I kind of need to wait for things to go through in some ways to figure out what subscriptions are what, and thus what notifications I should have gotten versus what I didn't. Because it seemed right, but I couldn't tell. The bot definitely counted it twice. So we might actually be 250 above where we should be. But also there might have been a resub notification that never went through for somebody else. Because they didn't send it. So it might have worked out in the end in that regard for the bot. Because the bot counted both subs, even if they shouldn't have been. But I'm not sure how it worked out. I have to have another look at it. Because it happened like right at the end of the month, right? And so that kind of makes things a little bit harder to tell. You didn't really confuse the bot, though. Bot did as it's supposed to. Bot operated as intended. Just whether or not that aligns with what should be happening because Twitch messed up. Okay, so I am at 1, 2, 3, 4 degrees. Got there eventually. Question is going to be, if I get it to 5 degrees and put it straight, is that bush going to interfere with the road? You don't really want a bush interfering. I also need to change the color of this road so that pattern is matched. I can do that in just a second. That seems fine. Straight to 5 degrees. You love to see it. Well, I guess for starters, let's just do this. I thought I set this back to normal and not B-roll or whatever. What in the hell are you doing? Oh, come on, game. Don't de-snap, you. It's nowhere near being where it should be. How frustrating. Okay, right there. Love this creator. It might at least be somewhat close. This isn't one I'm gonna put here permanently. I just want to see that that clears the bush. Don't have the traction for that. Yeah, it clears the bush. Okay. Oh god, are the bikes coming back this way? I hear them in the distance. Please tell me they're not coming back this way. They're coming back this way. Okay, well, expect bike noise in a couple of seconds. Yep. I see that hydrate. That is very close to being in the same position. Okay. So now, we just do 6. And then lower it into position. Right about there. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do this real quick. So that I actually have an edge to base the location off of. Of having to estimate it. And of course, it's always gonna be wrong because I'm looking at it from an angle anyway. But still. Okay. Getting fairly lucky with the angles. Yeah. Okay. Next color. I'm gonna run out of colors soon. Well, it's gonna start going to multicolor. Got there eventually. Think this will be smooth enough? I think it'll be smooth enough. Still will probably upset some cars, but good enough. Just control your car better. Simple as that. If it gets loose, don't let it get loose. Oh yes, pink on red. That is very easy to see. Just for the moment. Okay. Maybe do the right direction? I think I just did 8, so I actually need 9. Alright, one last color. And then we'll be at 10 degrees. Can't see it. Where is it? I hit it too well. There it is. Oop. There we go. Very smooth 10-degree slope. Now I wonder, can you stop setting to roll, please? Extremely annoying. That is not going to clear that hill. Maybe I don't want to do that anyway. Oh, it didn't snap to the right one. Damn it! Can you snap to the top piece? Thank you. Oh, not this bullshit again. Stupid game. Hide the seam by putting it on the other side, yes. Good enough. The pitch. This isn't gonna fix anything, but I'm still gonna do this just to try and see if it maybe helps. Oh. Apparently A with a space goes above A, or whatever. This is a track that I never really made. Partially made it. If you recognize the shape, good for you. Alright. It actually worked. Look at that. Let's put it to local rotation, because that seems to help. Whoops. Too far. Where is the seam? It's somewhere up here. Again, that's a good sign. You can't find the seam. It means that it's actually hidden. And it's doing it immediately. Yeah, see, game, here's the problem. I can't just simply rotate this when you do that. Am I gonna have to, like, back out of this multiple times just to be able to place these props? What a nuisance. I have to load up another job before it'll work? Let's find out! Not pickups, props. Yeah. Snap line looks fine. Okay, it's wanting to do it now. I don't know why it's cooperating all of a sudden, but I'm not going to question it. I want it to cooperate. So the fact that it's automatically snapping is not something I appreciate. Finish line is over there. Why'd you snap? Game. You know what? Hear me out. This will actually work. I don't want it to go back down on the other side, but that's okay. A list of snap lines there. That's okay, because what I can do is... How far do I want it to go out? Well, I guess get a medium large. Medium large is too long. Just do a medium and I can extend off of it as necessary. What I can do is this. Change color. And then just basically align it with this if I go in the right direction. Right? And there we go. A steeper curve that goes flat. Now, 30 degrees might be too much, but I'm hoping that because it's not too long of a curve, and I'm only using 10 degrees of it, so a third, that it won't be too much of a pain. Please turn. Because you can already hear here I'm losing traction over that crest. That's exactly why I have this car out, because it doesn't have a lot of grip and it tends to get airborne. Now, this isn't a perfect test. Yeah, it still gets a little bit of airtime, but I think that'll be okay. Especially once you learn the track. Well, let me reset rotation because I'm not sure if I did that or not. Alignment looks fine. I think now is as good a time as any to do this. Oh, here I can use you. I don't want to snap. I don't know why you even tried to snap there. You sure as hell should not do that. Prop stacking. Oh, right. Well, that's fine. I can just do this. 198 plus 90 would be 288. Of course, I end up 1 degree off. There we go. Take this. Flip it 180 degrees. At 180 degrees. And then sink it down so that it's just barely clipping into this. But not so much that it's actually clipping up through it. It can clip just the tiniest bit into it, but I don't want it coming out the top side is what I mean. I'm gonna hold that back and just have it extend out the front, yeah. That way it looks like the track is actually supported from somewhere. Don't want to send it over that way, obviously. Yeah, sure, 15 is fine. Oops. Just reset it. Make sure it's not doing anything dumb. Yeah, I don't see a snap line. Turn off chain snapping. That's probably why it keeps wanting to snap. Nah, 30 degrees is too much. Thinking about how I want the track to actually proceed here. Like, I want it to wrap in against this edge. But do I want it to gain any elevation during this time? I don't know. Again, the problem that I have is if I snap it in, or if I angle it up, I have to be careful of corners, because corners make it that little bit more difficult to level it out. That's what I could possibly try doing. Something like this. This isn't gonna go well if I do it, so never mind on that idea. Still gonna do this. Maybe I can still try it. I'm trying to picture in my mind how this would look and how best to prop it out as a result. Never mind on that. But what I could do. This will probably be simple enough to work just fine. Nope. Snap rotation, then position, then reset rotation. Then it works. Yeah, no, they're more or less right on top of each other. I like that. Kinky. That's actually, like, perfect. Okay, why'd you turn snapping off? I see, it's because of the alignment setting. It doesn't like being set to local. That's dumb. Yeah, that's dumb, but also that's Rockstar for you. Basically, do the same thing, except what I do this time. Set it 2.5 degrees. And then bring it up like that. Now that's probably good enough technically. But also, it's not good enough for my liking. What do you mean rotation 2.5 degrees? Or... well, whatever. Here, I'll do it. No, I don't want to do this yet. I don't really want to do this yet. No, I just need to get it zeroed out. There. Whoops. There we go. Something like that. Or you can figure out what I'm going for now. Why? Why? What, you disable it after I press that button? You sure as fuck did. You... love this game. Change the color. And then do this. About 4 degrees. 4? 4. 4. 4. There we go. Take this, move it up. And then you have a small slope. Simple as that. Of course, it's funny how the angles look on the props themselves, but then if you look at the gradient of them, they're just fine. Same thing back here with this one. Spacing is more or less equal. Gradient gets more or less aggressive depending on which end you are at it, but nice smooth grade up. See, that's what I want to figure out how to do, but with 2 directions at once instead of only one. But I've never put in the time or the effort, obviously, to actually manage that. And I'm not going to bother with it today because it would take too much time. I'm getting tired of these damn motorcycles, though. Getting really annoying. Okay, so what if... I'm just going to reset this back to red. That is in... Yes, it was, Maha. Like I said, I'm getting tired of them driving past very loudly. Wish you would stop turning off prop snapping. There we go. Now there is a slight amount of angle to this, but that's fine. That is perfectly fine. Because what I can literally do is just take something as simple as a track straight short. No, I'm gonna go medium with it. Why not? Then what I can do is snap it to the end if the game will let me. Rotation lock it. Let's see. Can you reset so that my angle changes actually affect it? Though I don't really want it to affect it right now, I guess. I'm at effectively 57.5. I want to do it in 2 props, which I can do it in more, but 2 props will work better for 2.5 degrees, I'd say. Maybe not better. I can go up to 58.75. I'm gonna go to 354.5. And then I need one more. It's gonna add a couple of degrees of angle to it, but that's fine. Thank you for putting it where I want it to be. And now I set that to 0 or 360. So I went from 355.5 to 354.5. So what if I just go to 353 flat? I've been thinking I should have do that a little bit better. Then just take this and definitely want purple to be the dominant one in front. Move it out a little bit so that it aligns slightly better in that regard. Though it misaligns otherwise, so there's that. Try and realign it without going too far back, and I think that's acceptable. You know what I could even do here? It's probably not a good idea, but I can do it. Of course, it completely messed up the placement of it, but that's okay. I'll just fix it for you, game. No big deal. And how do I want to do this? Obviously, I need to get the track from over here to up here. So I'm thinking of doing a piece that curves up, like... you know, one of these pieces. But I don't think I want something this long, because that's just going to take up too much space. So I think I want to do it custom. What I might do... will a medium-large fit there within reason? That's the real question. No, it will not. That is too long. Okay, well... can work with a medium. And of course, the snapping on this particular prop is horrible. Well, I may just hide that. Change the color on it so I can actually see it here. Please? Please? Thank you. Got there eventually. Yeah, there's enough of a straight piece off of that, so this is fine. Really, what I could have done is even angled the first one at 6 degrees. But whatever. Will it though, bot? I don't think it will in this case. Make sure I don't accidentally delete a piece of track. Go enable this, because it turns it off for some stupid reason. Just turned it off on me again. Just slightly change the altitude of the prop and it turns it off. I do not understand this game. If this stream serves no other purpose than at least take away from it the fact that the creator in GTA is horrible and you should never touch it. Because it's the truth. Don't waste your time. Just don't bother. Unless you've already got experience mucking with it, just don't waste your time. Thank you. You wouldn't think that would work, but I have found that if you just repeatedly trigger the snapping over and over and over again, it will eventually try snapping somewhere else, and it might just be where you want it to be. That's also why I prefer triggered snapping as opposed to chain snapping or proximity snapping, because that actually allows me to, you know, mash a button and get it to do what I want, hopefully. Okay. Next prop, I guess. Damn it, game. No, you know what? Screw you. Snap it where I tell you to. Snap it correctly. Alright, so next up, 2 degrees. And I have to deal with the snapping bullshit again. Damn it. Yeah, that did snap in the right spot. Okay. Because it didn't initially. Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 degrees. Never get what I want. Goes for a lot of things. Speaking of which, hi. I need help. Also, I'm celebrating my affiliate anniversary. Don't you want to see me play more stuff that I might not play otherwise? Like, I don't know, console streams? Hell yeah. We're only like... mental math hard. Less than 20% of the way to those streams, but you know. Anyway, exclamation point goals if you want to see that again. Though that one is out of date because I didn't update it. But the only difference is that the face cam related stuff is gone. Okay, it stuck with it that time. Whoops, that was a mistake. Rotation, then position, then reset rotation so that it will actually cooperate. Again, if you're not familiar with the creator, don't bother using it. Wait a minute, I don't have an orange part down there. Oh boy, color mixing, isn't it fun? Or is that just yellow? Looks more orange to me, but it might be the shadow. No, it's just color mixing. See? As soon as I separate them, they look completely different. Funny how that works. Okay, that looks good to me. And then finally, we just have one that is 0 degrees, and I might use that as my basis. Maybe. Might work better. Wow, you actually snapped it and kept it there. What a rarity. Now it's a dark orange. Oop, too much. By the way, if you haven't noticed it yet, if you look at these, all the red sections have 2 of those little ribs in the center. The white ones usually have 5. But I think there's some that might have a different amount. Maybe not. Except for this one. Oh, maybe not that one specifically, but... Well, it is that one. Is it on this side more clearly? Where is it? Is it not on this side? It might not be on this side. It's kind of messed up because of the overlapping bit, but you can see that that one only has 3 normally. That's if I do this. Fine, you know what? Right there. Okay, it's 4, but it's not 5. Isn't that wonderful? Anyway, that's 0 degrees. So I managed to transition 7 degrees in that little bit smoothly. I've got to be careful with my snapping here because X not only is snap, but it's also delete prop. You can see it switched to delete when I went onto the prop, and if you're hovering over a prop in the distance, it might delete that prop. I need to not be on orange. It probably will just be easier to snap to the bottom one, ultimately. There we go. Most likely. Oh, I want you on the line. Oops. Switched my fingers around to I can tap it a little bit more precisely. There. That's good. Okay, so 358. Perfect. Up into position. They're a little misaligned, so let me fix that so it doesn't look as bad. I'm gonna want to bring this up to a relatively steep angle. I wonder if if I did 15 degrees, which I should be able to do, would 15 plus a 15 down be sufficient? I could always go 30 down, but that runs the risk of you ramping off of it because you're going too fast for that steep of a curve. Alright, well, let's keep building because I don't want to be streaming for that much longer. $357 and up. Not that far up. I think I said this before, you really don't need to be this aggressive with the banking. I could have put the purple a little further down, but whatever. You don't have to be this aggressive with it. You know, 1 degree in this small of increments. 2 degrees will work. But this is going to be very smooth. And it's only going to cost me so many props. In theory. Let's see. If I want to go 15 up, add another 7 down. It's only like 22 props. It's not that much. Be a lot less if we had 100 extra props to work with. Yes, I'm still annoyed about that. I'll only stop being annoyed about that after I'm done with this game. Why are you snapping down there? How does that make any sense? Bottom snap, thank you. $256. $256. Yeah, right there's fine. Yeah, right there. What did I just save on the last one? 356, so this should be 355. Not that steep. Come on. Okay, so that's now 5 degrees up. Can I realistically get another 10 in there? Probably not, but I can also just add a couple of extra shorts to the end and get it done that way. Or if I really wanted to, for the last few degrees, I could just advance it a bit faster. Because realistically, how many more do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm up 5 degrees currently. It looks cool, at least. Down 7, up 5. So I'd need another 10. I have 5 to work with. I can get it done in 4. I might do that. 2.5 degrees. It's a bit rougher that way. But honestly, I think at that point it'll be fine. Or I could try and divide it up into 5. Ain't gonna go very well. You know, why don't I just do 2 degrees? I'm an idiot. I need to go 10 degrees. Let me just do 2 degree increments. Duh. That'll be much better than 2.5. So I was at 255. I want to be, or 355. I want to be 353, but not right now. Now 353. Could you just put it on the bottom one by default, please? Always have to fight with it. Can't just be snap it and go, right? Nope. Gotta fight with it to make sure it actually snaps to the right spot. I think that's good. Yeah. Fine. Okay, 351. And we've officially looped back around. I'm gonna do this just to make this initial placement easier. Okay. Back to red. 349, I believe this should be. That pretty much just put itself where it needed to be. Not quite, but nearly. Game. 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 Come on. Thank you. Snap the right thing first. Okay, and now 347. There's an array of colors on that side. Alright, now to fail at snapping for another 2 minutes. I didn't mean that literally, game. Come on. Thank you. Kept the actual spot that I want it to be. That's nice. $3.45. Now, can I do this how I want? Seems like it actually did it. Holy crap. Yeah, it snapped to it first try. Did you look at that? What I'll probably do with the track is like wrap it around over here so that as you're climbing up this section you can actually see it. Actually, I can get a mouse on, so yeah, like, fuck you, middle finger. I love that cursor. Bring it around in the air, right? So loop it around. And then just basically have it come out here so that it's closer to the track down here. Gaining altitude, and then loop back around in here and up there. I don't know if this will be any good to race, but it'll look neat, at the very least. Damn it. I forgot to place that prop. Oh well. There. Fortunately, went right back to where it should be. Let's test it. See how badly it drives. Got a bit of speed up. before the first turn. Yeah, this turn complex is not that complex, but maybe it'll be better with more speed. You can totally brake boost over that too. That's cool. Overtaking can definitely happen there. Bit of a steep hill, sure. Probably brake boost over that hump as well. The colors will change. Bit of angle here, but that's fine. Flattens out into the turn. Oh yeah, that was fairly smooth until the very end. Yeet! Like I said, you can brake boost there. Not really ideal, but it is what it is. You can also brake boost there. Yeah, I mean, this layout isn't the worst I've ever made. Definitely could be better in some ways. You know what I can do while I'm here? Just for gits and chiggles. People know this route, right? People remember doing that, right? Played the game long enough. I remember doing it. Why is there a regular car in here? Although that being said, the gates are open. Zancudo is free to go into. Maybe not free to go into, but you can go in and out of it no problem. Wonder if there are any single-player props around here. Don't remember enough of how this is all laid out in multiplayer. I feel like there's more here than normal, though. Is this stuff normally here? I don't know. There's also something I noticed back here. Okay, that sent me to the side a fair bit. This wall, I don't recognize this wall being here. Not that I'm looking into the courts all that much, but I don't remember that. Alright, anyway. Yeah. The track has definitely not turned out completely terribly. This downhill is not exactly what I had hoped it would be, but it works. It works well enough. However, that is going to do it for today's stream. I'm going to call it quits here. So, end scene. Did I turn off controller cam? I sure did. Controller off. Alright, so next stream tomorrow. Surprise, surprise. I'm streaming 31 days in a row. Do I really need to tell you that a bike just drove by? Do I really need to tell you that the next stream is tomorrow? Because of course it's tomorrow. It's always tomorrow. It could be even longer than 31 days, mind you. Just requires a tip of $100 or more, which I know is not a small amount. But I'm not just going to add extra days onto the schedule for nothing. 31 days is enough. But yeah, next stream, as the bot said, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, the normal time. Or my summer car, because I still haven't died outside of that one time where it turns out that I actually didn't really deserve to continue playing the game. But look, I didn't know why the car was having issues. I didn't know what the deal was. And there was a number of things that happened that probably shouldn't have happened the way that they did that ultimately fucked me. So it's not entirely my fault. Just mostly. Anyway. Yeah, my summer car until I die in the game. And then, I don't know, more Wreckfest on Tuesday and Thursday. One of Tuesday or Thursday streams, I'm not sure which. One of those days I have to take care of something. So that stream will be in the evening instead of the afternoon. Because I don't really stream in the morning. I would prefer not to, at least. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty much going to be the same as this past week, just games will change. Obviously, GTA will not be Hunt the Streamer. This might not be more GTA on next Sunday. Might be FTL or something else. Wednesday night's going to have to change because I finished up with the Emerald randomizer. So, yeah. Beyond game changes and one schedule change for, having to take care of real life stuffs, it's pretty much going to be the same as this week. This next week. Yeah. I'm going to run some ads on the way out, as I usually do. If you don't want to stick around for them, that's fine. That's why they're at the end. You don't have to watch them if you don't want to. It's always appreciated if you do, of course. But, like I said, I don't blame you if you don't. Completely fair. Leave if you wish. Speaking of which, that all being said, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you everyone for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Later.